I don't even know where that came from. I haven't eaten anything today.
I don't want to know either, buddy. I don't want to know either. All right. So we are live. How's that look? My goodness. Dylan's still recovering. How's everybody doing today? I think we got 2 people in here. So, sup, everybody? Say hello. Yeah, we're at 2. My wife has gone to South Africa for the week. So I'm flying solo. The fun thing about that is she just landed, I think. And at some point, she might try to just call me. And if she calls me, hey, Gear Junkie, Big Tasty. Not usually the first 2 people in the room. Midnight Wolf, YouTube gave you a notification. My goodness.
What a concept.
You're lucky. She might call me during this live stream, and I have to answer because she just landed in South Africa. So if that happens, I do apologize. I will make it quick. But it's kind of this awkward timing. That said, though, I'm in no hurry. The only thing that's going to make me kind of hurry away from the stream today will be either a bathroom break or possibly food. So other than that, I'm good to go. How's everybody doing on a Friday? Dylan, you could answer.
Oh, by the way, just as a heads up to everybody, I have a RAM fault, as was just discovered this week by good old WinDBG. So if I just randomly disappear in the middle of the stream, it's not because I hate you, it's because I just blue screened. So just so we're all on the same page. It's funny though. I have to say this week, like especially knowing now for a fact that it's a RAM fault, you get some really fucked up symptoms.
Oh yeah.
Like your system starts doing some weird shit. Like I get like web pages that just crash for no reason, like all the time now. And I have to like just it's fine. I'm lucky if the part of the RAM that is corrupt, and like I kind of wish that RAM was like hard drives, and I know ECC memory kind of operates like this, but with a hard drive, when there's a bad sector, the drive just flags that sector as bad and doesn't write to it anymore. I kind of wish that RAM was equally as intuitive, but again, server memory does do that, but I don't feel like investing in a server motherboard just to get that. But yeah, weird stuff.
Give me 2 seconds. And once again, like I said, my wife just landed and now she's texting me. Those are all the bings in the background.
I can actually can't hear anything.
I had a RAM problem with my last computer, and it lasted for 1.5 years because I just couldn't be arsed to go in and figure it out. So I just lived with the blue screens until one day, I couldn't even turn the machine on, and
So
that's why I replaced it.
I realized something kind of cool a month or so ago is, so you know when a blue screen pops up and you're like frantically finding something to write the stupid error down on, you don't have to do that because Windows Event Logger actually logs the code. So I can just go in and it listed as like a critical, I think it's a code 41 error, and then one of the parameters is like the hex or the decimal representation. But so I went back and I started scanning, and of course Windows has like a massive repository of data on all of them. But there's also, for those of you that have blue screen problems, if you've had a Windows machine at some point in your life for a long period of time, there's almost a guarantee that you've had a blue screen problem. There's a free tool that Microsoft has called WinDBG, Windows Debug.
Yep.
And you can feed in a mini dump, which is what it dumps during the crash, and it will actually kind of diagnose it for you. And it doesn't give you a ton of useful information, but that was what pointed me in the direction of a memory fault, because it literally at the very end in like exclamation marks, it was like, you might want to check your RAM, bro. And I was like, oh, okay. And then sure enough, checked it, ran like memtest 86, and it was like, brrrr. I'm like, okay, all right.
Sneed, how's it going, buddy? We live. Midnight Wolf, how's my Friday? It's complicated. Aw. Big Tasty, I've been busy with school and whatnot. Other than that, I've been game mastering. How's everyone's month been? Game mastering. That sounds like fun. Month has been interesting. Dylan's sick. Dylan, do you want to share with the class, Dylan?
It is, in fact, COVID. As I just discovered today, is in fact COVID. That said, my symptoms have been extremely mild, so yay vaccination.
Like, we're like 3 inches away from each other on the screen. I don't know. Do you need to wear a mask?
Right.
A little bit of social distancing. You remember when you did the live stream live at my house and your parents were like, "Oh, you guys are awfully close." Who knew that you would be the first one getting COVID, man?
Right, especially because I don't see anybody. So this is a little warning for anyone out there that doesn't think they can get COVID. I don't live with anybody. I never see anybody. I leave the house once a week to get groceries wearing a mask, and I still manage to get it somehow. So if I can get it, fucking anybody can get it.
I don't want to know what you've been licking. Sneed, brother, thank you. Super cardioid. He's coming back. I've got the SCV7, which is super cardioid. So he is coming back. I think he might host the video. I don't know. Dude can only say super cardio dose, so that might take a while. We'll see about that. Thank you for the super chat, brother. What's coming up outside of that music video is I got the PreSonus Revelator USB mic. I'm super disappointed with it. Like super disappointed with it. I love a lot about it.
Would you say that you had a revelation?
Oh, shut up. You know your feed can drop like that, right?
I'm waiting for it to. Trust me. You don't have to do it. It'll just do it by itself at this point.
Yeah. No, so it's kind of weird. The problem I have is okay, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just save it for the video. I like a lot about this. The fact that it's a USB dynamic is awesome. The fact that you can put so much onto it, so streamers, it's got a bit of a noise problem.
I was going to say, I'd be a little nervous because I don't think USB bus power has enough, can supply enough amperage to crank up a dynamic mic. I'd be a little concerned.
You use the compression and all that stuff. The problem were the headphones. The headphone jack is pathetic. It's 16 ohm out.
Of course it is, because it's got to use all the rest of the power being supplied by the outlet just to run the mic.
There are people that are going to be using this as an interface, though. You can't be using this as an interface with earbuds. Like that sucks. Big Tasty says, did actually have COVID, cost me a job at UPS. Jesus.
Woo, shit.
That sucks. Oh, man.
I'm thankfully just to finish that quick conversation. So I'm on the upswing now. I'm in the latter half. The worst of it is definitely behind me, thankfully. So no need to worry.
On a scale of 1 to worst flu you've ever had, how was it?
Not that bad.
Not that bad.
I mean, considering honestly, I was questioning whether it was actually COVID, and then I just did some testing today. But yeah, it wasn't. It was just a cold. It was a bad, just your typical viral rhinitis, URI basically. It never went near my lungs. There was no stomach issues. I've actually had influenza before, and that was way worse.
Yeah. Oh no, I've had influenza a couple times. It kicks your ass.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that. So yeah, one other update that I had. I got a new light. I actually posted the Amaran 100D. I think I posted it on Facebook and I put it on the Discord server. This thing kicks ass. Wow. I don't know why I didn't do it. And I also had to get a new tripod. So I spent a bunch of cash on a tripod and a light, about $900 in total.
There's no flicker too, which is good. It means that they terminated the LED properly. They loaded it properly.
Well, this thing is like the Amaran 100D is kind of like the base model for video shooting. Like you don't want to go much cheaper than this. It was like $300 or 300 Canadian for it. Plus the whole dome. I got the really cheap dome that cost $50. I'll get a nicer dome later, but the dome itself was like $200. Like, come on, man. It can't be the same price as a light. Midnight Wolf, I just rewatched the AKG D4 this week, trying to find an upgrade for my SM58. D4, do you mean the D5? Is it the D5? It's not the D4. SCV7 or Telefunken M80. The Telefunken M80, I've heard a lot of good stuff about. I can't speak on that. I'm doing the SCV7 eventually. I'm trying to get around to it. Also picked up the Volt 276. That's going to be coming. That was lent to me by UA. I finally got through to UA. Oh my God. It took me forever to finally get a hold of somebody at UA and go, hey.
Hey, fam.
Oh, Midnight's fighting sinus infection. That sucks. So yeah, it took me forever to get through to them, and then because I wanted to get the SD1, but I also wanted to get an Apollo interface to test it with, and I didn't want to keep it. And they offered me a nice lend when it comes out, so that'll be coming as well. It's been busy as hell for the past week and a half, man. Like I've been shooting the video for that song that we're doing, and I haven't even looked at Discord in probably 5 days.
Jesus.
It's just been nuts. My whole desk right now, you can't see it, but I've got crap all over the place, and I can't find half my studio today. So,
I enjoy that. I enjoy being that level of busy where like you wake up in just a chaotic mess every day. It's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it, but because I've got the day job, if you don't like, something has to give, right? Something has to be neglected, and I can't neglect the channel, so I end up neglecting my day job, and then, they can fire you for that neglect, by the way.
100%. 100%. Well, I had a last March when I was doing big renos to this studio. That was rough. Like every room in the house, my bathroom had studio gear in it because I didn't have enough room in it. Oh my God, it was just a mess. But it was fun. It was a fun mess. It was kind of like, oh, we're on a little adventure here. Now it's significantly more boring, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I like the I like the pace. I also much prefer all this gear coming in all at once. I had that over Christmas, and then January hit, and I was like, well, I got nothing to release. There's no videos to. I guess I got to go buy a mic. I prefer it like this, but man, oh man, it seems like everything comes in like 2 or 3 days. Like I wasn't expecting the Revelator. The Volt 276, I worked my butt off for. I'm still working through a lot of the stuff that SE sent me. I haven't even gotten the finish with the Neome. That video's got to be finished up soon.
That's like when you drive a car really fast past someone.
That's
right?
the joke I make in the beginning of the video. Neome.
That's what it sounds like.
A lot of people are going to get really annoyed with me going, Neome.
It's going to be like the Super Cardioid Man 2.0, just shorts galore.
Gear Junkie, my guitar space is the same spot as my work from home. 2 feet behind me, 6 guitars. 6 feet to my right is 100 plus pedals. Oh my God, pedals! I just went in because I'm looking for a couple nice pedals, and holy
I was gonna
crap!
say not the 100 plus pedals, but I do have pedals and 9 guitars over there, so I can relate.
The last pedal that I bought was the Blues Driver, and when I bought it, it was $100.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time. It must have been 15 years ago.
I don't think, because I bought that same pedal and I love it. I don't think I paid that much more than that, really. Maybe 120.
They're like $170.
Holy shit!
And then the second Blues Driver, the new one that they've got, it's the next tier up, is $250. And I'm like, I'm sorry, not for the Blues Driver. If I'm going to be buying like a pedal for that amount, it's going to be a niche pedal that is.
My last pedal that I bought was the SY1, the Boss SY1, which is $300.
Jeez.
And like I have to say, it's not bad. Obviously this is kind of new for Boss venturing into the trigger pedal space. Definitely doesn't hold a candle to the stuff that like Electro Harmonix puts out. Their pedals in that genre of pedal are way, like the gating is way tighter on it, but it's cool. It's a nice creative tool.
I couldn't. The last time I bought a pedal, it was all Boss. Boss was basically the one to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm coming at it like so many years later, and I'm looking at all the options. I don't even know what to get. And so you got to rely on the guys, and you got to take a full day to go and try them out. And
pretty much.
See,
yeah.
And I'm like, God, I don't know if I have time for this crap. But I do really, really want new pedals. Like I would really love to be able to start exploring some different sound. We're getting behind here. My total collection is closing in on 200. Holy crap.
Jesus.
Then you missed my funny pick of the SE Reflex and 420 on my mini tripod desktop stand. Midnight Wolf, I will check that out. I promise I'll get to it. BD2 used for $50. A BD2 for $50. I'm going to start scouring some of the Facebook just for pedals. I'm just going to start building up pedals.
Oh, there's lots of people giving it. Facebook, even eBay, there's guys giving stuff away, but it's like, Yeah, I
Ooh.
know.
Poisidon. I just saw you there earlier there. Welcome. I believe you've been here before. I think I've seen your name pop up. Anyone know what this new release Rode is teasing on their website? A new version of the Rodecaster Pro.
Uh-huh.
I should call Rode. I don't know. I haven't actually been, like I said, the past week I've been busy as hell. I need to get on that. Dan, I didn't realize the Volt 476 couldn't operate bus powered at first. Ugh. This one's bus powered, I believe.
USB 2 bus powered or USB 3 bus powered?
Well, it's going to be USB 2.
Ugh.
Oh, you're going to have to give me a second. I have a dog screaming upstairs. Continue. You got this, man?
I got it.
All right.
USB 2. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head the specs of USB 3. Somebody's probably going to chime in and mention it. I know USB 2 is 5 volts, 500 milliamps. That's generally people have pushed that. And certainly like battery chargers and stuff, it tends to exceed that number. But that's not a lot to work with though. As far as like joules per second of power, there's not a ton going on there. So especially something like a mic. Like again, I look at the power supply of like a preamp that I use to drive dynamic mics, and like it's a beefy bastard. So like I'm sitting here going, really, you're gonna try to power that kind of same technology off of a USB bus? Okay, all right. See how that goes. Because they have come out with like USB to XLR, little interfaces or like the cheaper version, and some of them are just terrible. God, some of them just no gain. Sound quality is atrocious. Noise floor is atrocious. Everything pretty much is atrocious. I guess in a pinch it works. What do you got for comments here? Cheers, guys, and Clean Feed Pro recommendation. Yeah, I haven't gone. Paul, I haven't gone to Clean Feed Pro yet for work and stuff. I still use the free version because, God, for work we pay for way too many subscriptions to things as it is. But it works amazing. I think I always say with Clean Feed, if the hardware at the receiving end is or at both ends is good, you're golden. I mean, it's indistinguishable from studio in most cases. That tends to change if you decide to use it on your phone. I haven't used the Android version, but I know on iOS, the mic is very, very sensitive, which can be very annoying if you're trying to record someone talking normally and you have to keep telling them to talk like they've got a feather resting on the top of their nose. But what else? What did I miss here? Stuff's broken in terms of what it does. Like the most older pedals. Yeah. I never really fell super deep into the pedal thing. I mean, I think as far as a player, I more rely on technique than, and like I've got a huge appreciation for the Edge and a lot of the more technology-driven guitarists out there, like the Tom Morellos of the world. But for my own style, I found I can keep it pretty basic. I think the SY1 is about as exotic as I've gotten. Not to say that won't evolve over time, but yeah, I've not yet fallen victim to the pedal trap, although I'm still very young, so we'll see what happens.
Any uploads on the Near Horizon DKS?
I just left that one for you. I'm like, I don't know what the hell anyone was talking about.
DKS, what do you mean? Have you addressed all of the other comments, or are you just...
I was going through them here. I don't think you missed a ton.
All right.
Digitech drop.
Paul, cheers, guys, on the Clean Feed Pro recommendation you made.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, remote podcasting would be fantastic with it. I run a radio station on it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, if you've got like even the free version of Clean Feed, if the hardware is solid, you have nothing to worry about. Like it's indistinguishable from studio, in my opinion, if the hardware is good.
Yeah, and if you can match room tones with a very light gate, or you wouldn't be able to tell. You're junkie. I find technique is somewhat dependent on the rig. Delays and modulation require much higher precision, or the mistakes are just bad.
Oh yeah, well, just like distortion. I mean, there's lots of blues guitar players that play through like quad lead, and like they're not used to muting the shit out of their strings, so they just got all this ringing and crap and mud.
I've got see. I never used to run. Well, I used to run in a kind of a semi-metal band, and I never muted my strings while playing. I need to I need to start learning how to like wrapping the top end there so I can get a little less
I mean, with
ringing.
some, like with the blues driver, like a single stage lead like that, you can get away with,
Yeah.
a little bit of crap. But when you start really getting, like, if I combine my DD3 or like my orange overdrive pedal and the blues driver and the SY1 together, holy shit! I mean, it's a
Yeah.
neat sound, but my God, is it ever sensitive?
Yeah, and it's yeah, you screw up once and you're done. Big Tasty, that's an interesting question. With all the work you've been doing lately, how are you fighting burnout? Dylan, do you find you fight burnout?
Um, I mean, lately I've been sick, so yes. Um, I get burned out after 20 minutes of working now. But pre being sick, yeah. I usually, like, my weekends are kind of my dead time. Or at least Saturday's my dead day. Sunday, sometimes I'll try to get productive and do something. But I always need at least like one day a week that's just like I'm maybe do a couple chores today, but that's like it. I'm not doing anything past, like, I'm not working. I'm not gonna do a ton of shit like that.
One of the things that I've learned to do with this channel, because this channel, I don't burn out from the channel, I burn out from the morning show and doing the channel. So my day generally looks like a morning show. So I wake up at 5, I finish the morning show. Sometimes I'll have a meeting or two between 10 a.m. and noon. And then I usually try to get some administration done. I call companies, that stuff. Then I write, and then I'll shoot in the afternoon before my daughter gets home from school. Then my daughter gets home. Then I've got to prep for the morning show the next day. And then I make dinner, I hang with the family, and I go to bed. That is literally my whole day. So what I'll do is I'll get, like, when my wife goes away for a week, I will literally spend the whole week working ahead. So I'll get some of the videos done. For example, the Neom, I've got one on a boom arm. I've got a video for the SEV7. I got the video for the Revelator, the Volt. All of this stuff is kind of in the process of being written, shot, or produced. And so I'll try to get 3 or 4 videos done and up, which will give me a pillow. And usually what I plan to do is when I get like all those videos up, I'm like, okay, I can start on the next thing, and I can do a big video now. I got the time. And I usually end up playing video games. But when I do that, I'll come back at it and I'll kind of be a little more refreshed and a little more available for content. Because that's the one thing that I've been trying to do is I don't burn out on the channel. I burn out at the day job, but the day job takes probably about 70% of my work time compared to the channel. Imagine if I didn't have that day job. Oh my God, the amount of work I could get done on this channel.
I think it's also like when it comes to burnout, especially in a content creation capacity, I think it's important to have non-creative hobbies. Because I firmly believe that, like, all of us, and everyone's a little different in the reservoir, but I think everybody has like a certain amount of creativity that they can squeeze out of the cloth per day. And like, if the way that you relax is doing something else creative, as
Yeah.
as much as I get it, because I always am striving to relax while being productive at the same time, I find it's like, well, but now that energy, that creative energy, I've now wasted when I could have used that
Yeah, and
later on.
it's fascinating too because when you get into the process of doing stuff like this, so doing videos, you rely on a template, and
Mhm.
it's so easy to just fall into that template and go, okay, you know what? We're just going to test this. We're going to do that. Wrap up the video. We're done, without any extra creative, without any thought process put in. And that's the difference between two types of videos. One video can be very like, this is the mic. This is what the mic does. That is all. Thank you. And the next one kind of has the little quips in it. The one that people were remarking on was the Spider-Man bit with just the coffee cup with great power, and I took a sip of the coffee. And that's the kind of creative, and it seems small. Like, it doesn't seem like that's a lot, but that's the kind of stuff that you need to be considering while you're writing or you're producing content. And that stuff can really overwhelm you when you're just staring at a friggin' video about a microphone. You're like, what the hell do I say about this?
Yeah.
The Revelator is a great example. Like, how creative can you get? I just reviewed the IO24, which is basically this without a microphone. So it's constantly trying to stay on that, and that can get super exhausting.
Do you For your show, do you use prep service? I'm just looking at Paul's question.
I just started using one, and I
Yeah.
can't say who because I'm technically not allowed to be using it. Prep services, by the way, are very expensive to get
Oh
good
God.
ones.
Yeah.
And I got the #1 prep service in North America.
Nice.
They gave me a free trial, and then they forgot to cancel it. So I literally have the best prep service in all of North America working for my show. So prep for the morning show is finding stories that you can relate to your audience. For example, you know what? Let's go through. So prepping a show. Okay, before I go through any content of what I would do for a show, prepping a show for a morning show isn't just finding a story you want to talk about. It's finding a story that you can spin. So finding something that you go, you know what I would love to talk about is this little piece of that story. And you can kind of wrap it up, whether it's a joke, whether it's an intense conversation, something like that. So it's finding content that you can have conversations with, because my co-host and I tend to be the goofball. I tend to be the one that tells the jokes. Oh, a good example, the GIF guy died.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a straight up kind of a eulogy for the guy. Oh, you know what? We've been fighting. Is it a GIF? Is it a GIF?
We literally were like,
And so my last line going out was, and this is what I racked my brain about for about 45 minutes. The last line was, at least now he's with Jod. And that was the whole line out into the spots. And that's the kind of prep that, like, other people laughed more than you did, Dylan, by the way. So yeah, that's.
but I think that's not just advice though for a morning show. That's every type of content creation. I mean,
Yes.
what's the spin? What's the relationship with your audience? I mean, are you just talking about shit because you like to talk about it? Because if you're doing that, then you will probably fail. But I think it's so important to keep in mind, like,
Yeah.
who's listening? What do they care about? Can you make this in a way that they will care about it? Because it's the kinds of things that they, right? Like it's.
Well, and it's fascinating too, because like, try spinning a microphone. Try finding a relatable piece of content for a microphone. And you see that a lot, where a lot of people will just like, this is the SC Dynacaster versus the SM7B. That's cool. I mean, but what separates you from the crowd? And it's finding those spins that does separate you.
What's the arc?
Yeah.
Like,
And when you find that storyline for the microphone or for whatever you're doing, it becomes content rather than regurgitation. Dylan, you'll have antibodies soon. I stayed in too after getting over COVID. I felt confident enough to do Disneyland for 3 days and felt great.
I mean, I don't stay in necessarily because I think I have to. I just don't have any friends. Like just being just brutally honest about that.
Holy crap. Yeah, I think we'd probably hang out more if you lived closer. That's on you.
London's a very quiet little town, and it's either full of young, dumb, and full of college students, and like 40-year-old, families that moved from Toronto.
Yeah.
That's like the two demos that exist in this town.
Yeah, no, and I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't go out either. That said, I think my daughter got me sick. I'm starting to get symptoms of something. Now, my daughter tested negative for COVID with a PCR test. They're in South Africa. They were able to get on a plane with my daughter sneezing and snotty and all that. But yeah, PCR test. She even snotted on the PCR test. So it came back negative, I'm pretty sure. There's no COVID.
Well, and PCR tests are also a lot more accurate than the antigen.
Oh, yeah. So I think I should be okay, but I do feel whatever it is, it's coming. Midnight Wolf, the thing that I find missing is an actual feedback rejection test on dynamic mics. For those of us that use stuff in live settings, saying super cardio to this mic has good rejection based doesn't tell much. So that's actually a great comment, Midnight Wolf. How do you think that could be tested? Would that be by playing audio on the rear of the mic while talking into the microphone?
Any kind of test like that, you're going to need some kind of consistent SPL output device of some kind. Either a speaker that you can always leave at the same level with a tone that you can always leave at the same level. And then, yeah, that's the way I would do it. And then check check either the voltage or the DBFS coming out.
Yeah. What if you were to make it less scientific and just have audio playing on the rear side of the mic to see what kind of rejection it has over just a voice. Would that be, or is that not scientific enough?
I was gonna say, in a live setting, like as someone that has done lots of live sound reinforcement, it can get very mathematical very quickly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially when it comes to figuring out, okay, how close is my front line to my front PA? How much headroom do I have to work with that in mind? Monitor placement. There's lots of things to consider, even where the hell the walls are versus where your mic is if you're in an indoor venue. There's it can get very technical. It doesn't have to, but for those people that do it for money, like I used to, it can get very technical. So I think having some kind of a, not even necessarily scientific, but you want to make sure you get consistent results. So making sure that you have, like, the way I would do it is I would, again, have that consistent, always at the same level sound source, put it in the front of the mic, gain the mic to the point where it's at the same, for all the mics being tested, the same, business end volume, same distance away from the capsule, all that. And then spin the mic around and try. But it's hard because every mic is different shape.
Yep. Well, different cardioids. Cardioid isn't the same mic to mic.
No. No, and especially like you compare, like condenser mics don't reject as well. One of the reasons why my two, business mics in this room, because this is not a treated room, are both dynamic mics for that exact reason. Because dynamic mics almost always reject better, unless you're talking about an Electret condenser, like a shotgun mic.
Yeah.
Different story.
I'm not sure. I know just pointing gain mics to speakers like karaoke singers tend to. What are they doing? Turning around, or are they directly pointing the microphone at the monitor? That sucks. Yeah, and you know what? I'm always searching for ways that I can do that. And here's the thing. So with the testing methodology on my channel, I try things out, and if they fail miserably, I leave them in the dust.
Yeah.
Like, for example, all guitar tests that I've done on this channel have failed miserably. People skip over that faster than shit. I don't know how Podcastage I don't know how his metrics are on that, but my metrics are literally in the trash.
I think it's just you're targeting different people. I mean, he's obviously always kind of had at least from what I've seen, always had kind of a musical edge to his channel. So I feel like he tends to attract more musical people than like you would, because your channel started out with VO and podcast.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Doesn't necessarily translate well. So like this cover, for example, it's going to be interesting to see how this lands.
It will be interesting. Well, no, because I think this is also like, this also kind of goes into the sphere of VO, of not typecasting microphones, not just assume, well, that mic's not for that. Right. And I've heard that much here.
I've told so many people about this cover thing, and I've even shown them samples and told them, the mic that we used, right, the 58, and they're like, what? Like, that's for vocals.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
Like the amount of times I've had to like explain the concept, I'm like, it's getting irritating now.
Well, the very mic that you has in front of you was for kick drums.
Yeah.
That was for kick drums, and people have used it for voiceover. They've used it for music. Like the RE20, it can be used for anything. You can mic any source with any mic. And that's, I think, the biggest message to come across with this. So we'll see. Maybe I'll bring the guitar test back. I've actually gotten some comments on it. One dude was like, dude, can you just like play for us? And I'm like, yeah, like I was thinking about doing kind of a piece where I'm learning the guitar and do like a Thursday video or a Wednesday video where it's just me kind of going over some of the practice scales and what I've learned so far so I can track it. But seeing the numbers on the guitar test, I was like, holy crap. I don't know if I want to do that. We'll see.
I mean, you could put out like a little short and test it out and see what happens. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, I think I might. Like, the other option is starting a new channel just for the guitar.
Yeah. Add that to your list of things to do.
The one thing I like about adding the new video in midweek is it gives that there's a little bit more of a musical edge to the channel. And that is something I would like to have more of, because I notice a lot of the people that follow this channel that are like the P1 followers, the ones that show up to the live streams, like everyone here, generally has something to do with music, or there's music in
Yeah.
something what they do.
Yeah,
So
we've had a lot of more extensive musical discussions on the live, which surprised me a little bit. But yeah, I think the weirdest thing that I've ever done with a mic, just on that subject.
okay, all right. I just want to stop you there. Please tell me that there was no lube involved.
No,
No? Okay, cool.
the weirdest application. There's no way I can phrase this now.
Yeah.
That's not going to be that way.
Prostate exam.
No, but I love using shotgun mics. This is now especially going to go in a bad direction on guitar amps.
Nice.
And the amount of shit over the years that I've gotten because that's not what you're supposed to use those for. But I just love how precisely, like, the vast array of different tones that I can get just because of how ridiculous the polar pattern is on a shotgun mic. Just, moving it around the amp and just pivoting it in a different direction by like a half an inch makes a huge difference.
How
the
close?
bad side,
How close are you running to the amp?
it depends. I mean, often as close as I can get.
Nice.
But if I find that I'm not getting at the right part of the compression wave that I want, I'll move it back like a little bit. But like, yeah, I don't know. You can get some really. The only downside to using a shotgun mic on anything really is trying to recreate that sound is really hard because, like, again, you could move it a millimeter and your sound's gonna be different.
Yeah.
So trying to notate somewhere where the hell you put the mic exactly and try to get it there again for the next session is like, oh fuck.
I've seen a show at Jocko where his brass guys were blowing their horns into RE20s. Yeah, RE20s are great for stuff like that.
You totally could do that. I mean, I look at the SM7, the RE20, they have a lot of similarities. And I mean, they're obviously, other than the fact they're both broadcast mics, both OG broadcast mics. We're not going by the AT2040 standard for that word. But yeah, I mean, the SM7 sounds amazing on a horn. Trombone, sax. Never used it on a trumpet, but I can almost guarantee it would probably sound great on.
That would be kind of fun to, like, finding the best mic for a trumpet, finding the best mic for a saxophone.
I mean, the 57 is kind of the gold standard. If you ever come across an instrumental source that you don't know what the hell to put on it because you've never come across, just throw a 57 on it. Sounds just fine.
Paul says, talking prep and knowing your audience, what are the general demographics of your morning listeners? I never heard the show. I'm curious who your audience is and what's up their alley. So the station I work for is an Indigenous music station that's not all Indigenous music.
I was going to say.
Yeah. It's a pop station, pop/hip hop. And the demographics 25 to 34, give or take. And it's kind of skewed male, female, 50-50. The problem is we haven't, I'm not going to speak on management, but there have been some steps taken that have limited the amount of reach our station has, which is disappointing. So we don't actually have a full demographic view, but we are picking up steam. And I personally, when I prep the show that makes me laugh. I can make my wife laugh, and I know my wife is in the demographic for that show, and that's what I aim for. I don't prep like I'm a goofball, and that's all you're getting from me. You're not getting hard-hitting news. You're getting the funny jokes to knock it out of the park, go back into the music, and you're good. So I don't actually prep my show depending on the station I'm at. I want to talk about some fun stuff. I try to keep farts out of the conversation, although that doesn't happen all the time.
I was going to say, good thing you're not at a jack station. If
well,
you were, you get out of your way specifically to find fart.
I was trying to, the one break I was doing with my co-host, and I'm like, dude, we're going to play Guess That Sound. And I had the sound of a hippo fart. And it's like a minute-long fart with added value, if you must know.
Oh, man, there's, just quickly on that, this week I got an email from, so whenever these secret sound or what's that sound type contests come up, just for a little backstory, because I'm sure like they're running all over the place now, everyone's doing this, but usually the promo people will send out what sound they want to use to a group of producers just because, hey, if we can't guess it, nobody's gonna probably be able to guess it more than likely. And one of the promotions directors in Ottawa this week sent me, because I think they're gonna run something similar on Shay.
Nice.
And she sent me two sounds, and I nailed both of them. She's like, "Why the fuck are you so smart?" like,
Nice.
it's my job to know what things sound like. What
Well,
I can't help it.
this sounds like a model airplane going off. That's what a hippo fart sounds like. And he couldn't get
Really?
it. And then finally he's like, dude, is it a fart? Because if it's a fart, I'm going to be mad. I'm like, it is not a fart. Technically it's a hippo taking a dump with its tail. So anyways, Gear Junkie says snaps glove on. Yeah, those shotgun mics, man. You might need a glove. His name is Bandrew. He's kind of irritated at how much people get it wrong. I know the story behind Bandrew too. I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell it or if everyone else knows the story of why it's Bandrew. But yeah, it's a fascinating story as to why it's Bandrew.
Well, it's because his name is Andrew and he's in a band.
Yeah. Too close to the nail. Too
Really?
close
Wow.
to the nail. Yeah. I don't know.
awesome.
See, I would share the story, but I don't know if he shared it, so I can't.
That's funny. I was just talking on my ass there. That's like the third time I've almost got something
Yeah.
this week.
No,
Awesome.
I'm not. It's not my truth to share, okay? It's
Not my story to
Yeah,
tell.
it's not my story to tell. I don't know if he's told other people, and it would be horrific if I were to steal that thunder.
If you were to be the one that leaks it.
Well, it's...
The hell was that?
I don't know. Something... it was a battery dropped. Yeah, by the way, the SC Dynacaster, horrible at rejecting... Yeah, it's bad. I know.
Oof.
Between a 57 and a 609.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, E609s are awesome for guitar amps.
I've never used an E609.
It's literally, they're made for guitar amps. Like, it's probably one of the only mics that's actually built specifically for that.
Okay, and here's the one Gear Junkie before that. I have a square head. How do you pronounce that? Akai mic?
Akai, yep.
Okay. I've heard it about 3 different ways. I'll go with
Akai.
Akai. From the 60s, it was meant to be a vocal mic. Just fucking kills and distorted guitar. Nice. Dylan, play the lottery.
What?
Yeah. Oh, that's because you guessed some of.
All right,
Banju's
yeah, that's it.
storyline,
I should take out a 649 ticket or something.
The Lotto Max is 70 million.
Ooh, that wouldn't be
That
bad.
might- yeah.
That's a nice studio.
It's tonight. You best get going. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
If
a
you
D
can't
studio.
build a decent studio for 70 million, you're doing
Man,
something wrong.
in college, I remember I had to budget a studio for 1 million. So I could build 70 of those.
How good was the studio for a mill?
It was good. Like
Yeah.
it was like no expense barred. Like just 200 grand in just cables.
Wow.
Like it was like yeah.
How much was the console?
450, I think.
450, eh?
It was an SSL duality, which is up in that range. I like the duality.
I remember I wanted to actually start this conversation here on the show rather than have to just do it behind the scenes. So here's the question, guys. We've got a music video coming out. This is the One Mic, One Song. Now, we've been kind of playing with the concept because the concept of the video requires a bit of setup. But I think a lot of people are going to just want to be watching the video because it is kind of it's a stylized black and white video. It's kind of cool. As you saw with the photo of me on Discord, if you didn't see it on Discord, it's up there. Now, the question is would you do a setup for this video? And I'm going to send this out to Dylan as well. Would you do this as a setup? So would you actually set it up where the first part of the video is us describing why we're doing it? And then I was looking at maybe an after video of how we did it instead of doing it in that same video because that would be too much. It's only a 4-minute song.
A part of me is kind of like would want to risk starting it with the video because I think there's some of the mystery. Cops. There's some mystery there, and like it kind of almost keeps people engaged. I feel my hypothesis is that it would keep people engaged for longer rather than if you tell them what the video is and they're like, oh, okay, and they'll click.
Yeah, and that's what I'm. But then at the same time, people might be watching it and going, It's just a video." Other than the fact that everything's being done through an SM58. So I have a graphic right now: one song, one mic, one SM58, and that's the.
Yeah, I think if you can use the thumbnail to kind of hint enough about the fact that this isn't your run-of-the-mill music video, I think that's, and then maybe at the very end of the video, just it could be just the two of us sitting around just talking about what the hell.
I want to avoid that too because that's going to kill the watch time on the video. So I want to do like a second video possibly after describing what we went through to do it.
But if you do it at the end of the video, I mean, they've already made it through that act like the meat
Yeah,
of
and
the,
people are going to just turn it off after that video.
yeah,
I
which is
guarantee
fine.
you. Well, no, it kills your watch time. So like, for
Well,
the
but no,
people
it
that
doesn't,
actually
because
care,
if they've already watched the 4-minute music video or whatever, then you've already milked them for most of the watch time you would have gotten.
oh well,
for
I guess
anyway.
it depends on how long after the song we're going to be talking. If we're doing another 4 minutes,
Well,
that
no,
would-
God, no.
but that's the thing, right? So if you guys have a thought on that, the music video I'm looking to drop next Monday. Not this Monday coming up, but the Monday after. Dylan's giving me a surprise look. I texted you that and you thumbs upped it, man.
I'm sick. Fuck off.
You gave me a thumbs up on that.
No, you actually Facebook messaged it to me.
Yeah, and you
didn't
thumbs
text
upped it.
to me.
You thumbs up it.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs upped it. Whatever that means.
You keep inventing new ways to.
Whatever that means.
No,
But
I'm sure you did, but it's just
I
you know,
don't
like
need much from you, dude.
throwing a date out there and then throwing up a like it's coming up next week. It's like this. Like it seems a lot
Okay.
more.
I'm planning on it. It might not make next Monday because I mean shit might happen. I would love
Like
to have it
that's-
up on next
It's
Monday.
it's 2 days.
No, next Monday. The Monday after.
Oh well, that's the Monday after. Next Monday
That's
is
no, to me that's next Monday because this Monday is this Monday. Next Monday is the Monday after.
well, no. Which one's the Monday that just passed?
The last Monday,
But then what's the Monday before that?
2 weeks ago.
But it's not 2 weeks ago because we're not two full weeks.
Okay.
Now we're just getting into fucking
Not
semantics.
in 2 days. It won't be in 2
Good.
days. It will be the
Good.
Monday after, so there's lots of time. And I
Good.
don't need much from you, dude.
I know.
Like I literally need
Well,
like
in my head, that's why I was thinking like, I get a weekend.
I can also do all of the like because it's in black and white, it makes it even easier. You don't even have to get just the perfect shot. And you'll see I sent you the precursor video anyways. Is it a Gwar song? Oh, I would love to do a Gwar song. Old lead singer that passed away was Odorous Ungerus, I believe, was from Ottawa.
Huh.
Something a lot of people don't know. I'm so sick of you. Oh, love it. 2 Mondays back.
2 Mondays back. Yeah, that's logical. That's easy enough.
Yeah, so we'll see exactly how I'm gonna roll it out. You'll next Monday. How's that? Would that suffice for you, Dylan? Next Monday?
No, that's just too many. That's too many words. Let's just go with 2 Mondays from now.
Two Mondays from now. Well, no, it's not 2 Mondays from now.
It is because you got next Monday's 1 Monday, and then the following Monday's 2 Mondays.
That's also confusing. We need more of a German approach to words, you know? Where there's such very specific
As if the English language isn't already based on German enough. Like,
Yeah, we need like one of those like 24-letter words that
God.
that takes you 2 weeks to pronounce. Yeah, we need
I
something
think
like
that the word to describe each number, the amount of letters should correspond to the number that you're describing. So the number 20, the word for the number 20 should be 20 letters long.
Oh, that would be
And if you want to describe 1,000, well, you're shit out of luck.
Big Tasty says leaking Bandrew's name origins like a hippo's fart. One of the reasons this show is one of my favorite podcasts. Yeah, you see, and that's the other thing. Like, if I only had time talking about burnout, there's so many things I wanted to do. One of them was converting this into a podcast. And while that's super simple to do, it's just a matter of grabbing the audio, throwing the audio out, getting an RSS feed. That's still like an extra half hour of my day that, like, I just launched the website. By the way, if you haven't seen it, let me put it in chat.
Oh yeah, and then just throw someone over at Atlas like $200 to give you a Dark Corner Studios podcast. Get some of that shit, and that's all you need.
Atlas? Is that I see I've come so I used to well I started everything on a podcast, but things have changed so much with
Atlas is just a VO talent agency, like one of the big
Oh yeah. A fortnight. Oh look, Red Cabin. A fortnight would work.
a fortnight.
A fortnight. So I'd like to have the video up in a fortnight.
I love
How's
how you
that?
went all hipstery and used the the .tech.
Well,
regional.
okay, all right. Now that you bring it up, has anybody checked out Dark Corner Studios outside of me? There is another Dark Corner Studios out there.
Oh, that sucks, doesn't it?
I didn't know when I started this up as Dark Corner of Radio way back. That was my podcast, the Dark Corner of Radio. It did very, very well for itself.
I was gonna say, I remember there was a few. I remember a couple. What was one of the Manson family episodes you did?
Manson family. It was kind of the darker side of music and the music industry. Is the morning show on Air Algonquin AM station? No, it is not. That is awesome though. I used to be on that when I was in Algonquin radio program.
I have two of the shirts. I was just in my closet today looking for like a white T-shirt. I found two of the like air shirts. I'm like, oh, those were the days.
I have the CKDJ shirt. No,
I've got both.
That is Air Algonquin AM. So Air
AM 1700 All Hit Radio.
All Hit Radio.
With Jen O as the VO somehow. I don't know who the hell managed that. But how is the .tech top level? How is it, like, how much cheaper is it than like a I mean, everything is cheaper than
like
.com TLD.
It's half price. DarkCornerStudios.com goes to a horror. It's kind of a horror genre thing that they're doing in California. They've got like 3 subscribers on YouTube. When I saw that, when I started Dark Corner Studios, I searched Dark Corner Studios and I saw that and I'm like, they're not going anywhere. Didn't realize that they're an actual big company. So they're not giving up darkcornerstudios.com. So I'm like, well, I heard a lot of people going for the .tech and I'm like, do kind of sit on the tech side of things. So .tech will have to be, it would cost $6 for the domain.
For the year. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I've got a .com and I'm with GoDaddy and I think it costs me maybe 12 or 13 a year, like at most.
Well, I didn't want the .ca either because anybody outside of Canada is like, what the hell is
what the hell is
.ca?
.ca, yeah. Well, you didn't want .gov?
Well, there's a bunch of them, but .tech was probably one of the best, and there's a lot of people using .tech now. So
.net's okay. I find there's just something occasionally that's a little sketch about .nets. It's kind of like the poor man's .com. I don't like it.
Well, it also used to be, like at one point, if you wanted to have, like back in the day when .net was like the thing, you would go for good information from .net. .net would be somewhere that you could get information from, what's a good example of business or holy crap, I'm having a complete and utter brain meltdown at the moment.
Why didn't you have darkcornerstudios.mic? That would have been cool.
Do they have .mic?
There's no reason why you couldn't.
Well, you can't just, they have to be released.
You'd have to find a registrar that supports the TLD of .mic, but
and I'm
sure it has to be.
Sure that would cost a lot of money.
I don't know. It's not used very much. Supply and demand, yo.
Yeah, but there's one person that would want to use it. That's demand.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you need at least 10. If you got 1 or like 500, nah, it's not gonna go well.
Well, I don't know if they're big or not. That Dark Corner. They do like horror graphics and stuff. I don't know if they're big. They seem like they've got a decent presence, but their online, like their YouTube, is garbage. I think they've got like 5 subscribers now.
Maybe they're like a big TikTok thing or something. Maybe they're like that.
No,
YouTube's not their platform.
You can literally go to darkcornerstudios.com. I'll do it too.
Dark Corner Studios. We're on a field trip.
Most thrilling and provocative cinematic virtual reality experiences. Serving as both distributor and original content studio. Dark Corner. Oh, they've changed.
I was going to say, this looks very
They're just called Dark Corner now.
But their website's still Dark Corner Studios.
I should contact them and see if they'd be willing.
See if they'd be willing to change to darkcorner.com, and then, unless that's already taken by someone.
Oh, darkcorner.com must be taken.
I can only imagine.
Let's GoDaddy.
GoDaddy that shit. I hit my mic.
Okay, all right. Let's see if darkcorner.com is... Like, they could go darkcorner.tech. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, they're in virtual reality. I mean, that's tech, right?
Right? Browse domain names. Search for domain names. So let's go darkcorner.com.
I love how we're using the live to like formulate a business case as to why somebody needs to give up their domain name. This is awesome.
Darkcorner.ca is available. CO org cloud store. I guess darkcornerstudios.store would have been fine. .tech live ca. Dark-corner ca. Thedarkcorner.ca.
I hate when there's hyphens and shit like that.
Yeah, and
that
that's
bugs me.
I liked just Dark Corner Studios. I don't know. One of these days, maybe I'll approach them and see if we can come to an agreement. Maybe I end up changing the name of the channel. I doubt that's going to happen.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that's like the last trick in the book, I think.
No, I don't. Like, I'm not. I love
stick with
DCS.
Stick with DocTech. I think DocTech is fine. Or maybe like you could maybe do like DCS.com if that's not
Anything that's a 3-letter combination .com is either going to be taken or it's going to cost you about $1,000.
Really?
Yeah, all of those 3-letter combinations were bought up at the very beginning. So like and there's probably like 10 guys buying up like all of the different combinations of things. So
God,
yeah, you're just not going to find it.
The internet is such a douchey place.
Right? Domain names are not so important anymore. SEO are much more important. Org or .fm. .fm is actually a good idea. I know a lot of radio stations running that. The problem is I think you have to have verified as a broadcaster.
Well, Riverside isn't, and they got a .fm.
That's a good point.
There must be some requirement for it. I can't imagine what it would be. Or it might be really expensive because it's for radio stations. That'd be worth checking, though.
I'm looking up .fm domain. Domain registrations. Buy now. Save early. darkcornerstudios.fm.
I know. I do think, I mean, perhaps domain names aren't as important as they used to be, but I think it is still something that's important to have, especially when you're starting out as a business. Once you get going and everyone's got you bookmarked, it doesn't really matter. But I think, having just a random domain with a bunch of random letters is not very helpful.
$99 a year for .fm.
Good God. Yeah, I see, right? Like that's kind of my head started going in that direction. Like, yeah, it's probably expensive.
God damn! Why are all those? They have .studio.
I mean, I kind of figured because none of like the company that I work for, none of our radio stations use .fm, and I'm like, there's got to be a reason for that.
Oh, we do. Element.
I think our players use .fm.
No, we're elementfm.ca. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm completely talking to. Oh man!
Like the businesses that it's for aren't even using it. So like, there's obviously
$99 a year. That's like
who's the registrar? Is it GoDaddy or?
I just went. I didn't even look. It was searched FM registration, and it went to an FM thing. So I'm sure you probably can't get .fm through GoDaddy.
I'm checking. DarkCornerStudios.fm. $212 a year.
Damn.
Yep, and that's Canadian, by the way.
How did you get it for $212? I just saw it at $99.
DarkCornerStudios.fm. I'm on GoDaddy though.
Oh, on GoDaddy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they will offer it, but I'm guessing they probably don't natively serve that TLD, so they probably have to like go through hoops to do it. And it's like,
a while ago when they first announced like the expansion into the .fm, .tech, and all those, you couldn't get them. You had to go through very specific places to get them. They were not.
I love how DarkCornerStudios.fm $212.94 a year. DarkCornerStudios.ca $299.
Yeah, like
it's not even a contest, really. Like what?
Well, in .ca, so 95% of my audience, I think, is in the U.S.
Yeah, like if you've got like a nonprofit or like a really small business that is physically based, like you've got a store, for example, like .ca is fine. But if you've got an internet-based business, having a country-specific domain, unless you're in the UK, I know UK with the co.uk has some weird requirements about that. But we don't.
Yeah, .tech's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, let's just stick with that.
And it's on my. If people haven't had a hard time emailing me, again off to the corner, dude. You're not only late, man. You're at the end.
Yeah, pretty much,
man. The hell? Yeah, you were working outside. Oh, that sucks. Well, I don't know. It sucks here if you were out. Don's his
Yeah,
Ken cap.
it's been rainy as hell today here.
Yeah, we got to get a Ken cap. We got to get an actual Ken cap to give to Ken.
Ken cap.
Also, working on getting the Dark Corner shirts done. I know some people have expressed interest in getting a Dark Corner Studio shirt.
If Ken becomes a channel member, we'll give him a cap. I'm gonna be that asshole.
Oh, nice. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I have a problem with Gildan shirts. Do you know what Gildan shirts are? So if you get like cheap, shitty band shirts, they're usually Gildan shirts. The problem I have is I don't like tight collars. I don't like tight t-shirts that hug your whole throat.
There's I have a ton of band shirts, and some of them are actually decent quality. I should check out the manufacturer on the tag, and I should give you a list of like the best ones, and you can look into it.
Because I don't necessarily like V-necks, but I like to have a neck with a little bit of room in front of the neck. I don't want shit right up against my throat. It bothers the hell out of me.
Oh yeah, no, especially like I personally, like I have a really sensitive kind of throat, so I find any pressure like on here like makes me gag.
It bothers the fuck out of me. So I'm trying to find a decent shirt because I'm gonna have to buy the shirts I want, and then because I'm not just going with a hey, grab this shirt, because they have to fit me. And if I don't know that they don't fit me, I can't sell them. Amazon does have a service where they have Amazon merch. And I might try it out and just put the DC shirt up on Amazon. They'll probably cost like $20. And if you want them, grab them. If you don't, whatever.
Order them if you got them.
I'm way too small to do merch at the moment. But I know there are some people that are like, dude, I'd love to have one of those shirts. Okay. We'll see. Like, that might be the only way I can go about it. I will get back to you though, because I do know I've got to get an order of 10 done up to get. Like most places won't do single shirts, or they'll do them really shitty. I want silk screened.
If you do get one shirt from a place too, they'll charge you up the ass.
Yeah, it's like $150.
Yeah,
just for a silk screen. I was loading up an irrigation system in 40-mile-per-hour winds. Jesus.
No, thanks.
Yeah,
I'll leave that up to you. You can do that. I'm not interested in doing any of that.
Beresford, my preferred future web domain is 7,850 pounds to buy.
Lol.
do you want to tell people what it is, or do you want to kind of avoid? No, I don't think anyone here would try to grab it from you, but
not certain. I don't think anybody for that price. No.
Yeah. Gildan is garbage. V-necks
tell you
are
what,
icky.
Tell me what it is. I'll buy it for $7 and I'll sell it to you for 10,000. Is that cool? All right.
Polos with a small DC over the breast, or go for the pocket. I don't want to have a pocket. I don't want anything to bring my nipples up more than they have to be.
The pocket tee's a little weird. I have one, and it's a good quality shirt, but just something about like pockets for me are a dress, they're not a dress shirt, but like a button-down thing.
Yeah, if you can't put something in the pocket, why is it there? And you can't put anything in a t-shirt pocket.
No, because the material's too like. I don't want to say flaccid, but yeah, the material's too flaccid.
Yeah, Dab says, I'm in, I'll buy a shirt. So then the question is, Dab, and for anyone else that would be kind of curious, would you prefer to pay $30 for a good shirt? The one that isn't a Gildan shirt that you just kind of like, it doesn't feel good, doesn't fit good? Or would you prefer just a cheap shirt to rep once in a while? I have a feeling most people would prefer a really nice shirt.
Yeah, like I would be like, I have enough shitty shirts that like at this point, if I'm getting merch, I want to make sure it's good quality merch. So like because I would also buy one as well.
Yeah. I'd send you one. You work for free. It's the least I could do.
Like, I don't know, this shirt from a studio I used to work for over at Hummingbird Music in Ottawa, it's a decent shirt. The thread count is not exactly up to my particular
Well, and that's the other thing.
taste.
Like, there's other like jersey, there's polyester blends,
and also like another huge one too is like, you know, how good the silk screening is, because there's some band shirts that you buy and you wash them once in cold water and already it starts like peeling.
Those aren't silk screened then. Silk screen shirts don't peel. They're actually embedded in the fabric. Like that, silk screened will not happen.
Well, in that case, I don't think I have any silks. I think all my shirts I mean, some have very, very thick decals on them, but they're all decaled.
So yeah, I'll look into it. I'm literally wading into waters that I have no clue about. I wanted to reach out to somebody at Linus Tech Tips to find out where they source their t-shirts,
Hmm.
because I do know those are wildly popular, and
And good quality,
they've
apparently.
they've really cornered the market. They found a distributor that they can. So I think I might reach out to Nick at Linus Tech Tips. I want a dab cap then. I'll get a Dark Corner Studios
You
cap that
might
you
want to
can.
rethink that. If you walk around with a cap that says dab on it, you might get some funny looks because yeah, some people might
Or some
think that means something else.
funny things happening to you.
Yep.
That would be ugh. Anyways, yeah. So it's in the process. I didn't think it was going to be this overwhelming. I don't want to just go out and buy some cheap, shitty shirts. I'm going to see what the process is with Amazon merch. If they offer something other than Gildan and I'll order probably one just to find out if it's good or not, and go from there. And then it would just be a matter of, like, technically I'm through Squarespace, so I could set up like a storefront and then just have them printed as needed and shipped out. Or maybe I'll just go through what's that Ottawa company that does all the online order stuff? Shopify.
Yeah.
I could go through Shopify or something like that. We'll see. Dan says, I'd like the good shirt. I'd also use a shitty shirt, but then I'm holding on to a crappy shirt longer than because well, and that's the thing. Like, you don't, like, I buy shirts to support brands as well. Like, I have Metallica shirts up the ass, but even with Metallica shirts, they suck. When you order them off the store, they're garbage shirts. They don't fit right. They're just, I'm never going to buy another Metallica shirt from their store because of that. Now it's only concert shirts.
I'm assuming you have also that you have your logo in vector format as well.
Yes.
That's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, it's just going to be a small logo on the breast. That's it.
Still, if you're doing any kind of printing of anything,
yeah,
stay the hell away from raster stuff.
What's the difference between raster and vector?
So vector is like mathematical equations. Basically, the computer, when you run it through, it just basically does a sketch. So there's no pixels. Pixels are a raster thing. So a raster image is literally just a collection of colored squares, whereas a vector is actually like basically connect the dots.
Okay, so I've got to look at these because I noticed
the nice thing with vector is you can scale it infinitely and you'll never ever get any pixelation.
Cool. So it wouldn't be just a JPEG then, right?
No, God, no.
What is
SVG is one format that's used pretty commonly in web graphics that are vectorized.
I'm going to have to look that up because he sent me JPEGs.
Yeah, JPEGs are not vector. Flat out, no.
No,
SVG, DXF, EPS, and PDF are vector formats. So technically, you can get vectors. PDF is not a vector format, but PDF files can have vectors in them.
All right, I'm gonna get a hold of that dude.
Yeah, the standard one though, DXF looks like it's just for AutoCAD crap. Encapsulated PostScript, so that technically makes sense. But yeah, SVG files are kind of the only one that I've really ever come across, other than like Adobe Illustrator project files, which obviously, no.
I'm going to go find. I use Dean Cole Design.
Yeah, you might be able to message him, and if assuming
no, he was good. The last guy that I ordered still hasn't paid me back.
Nice. Assuming he's built the graphic in a vector tool, he should be able to send you a vector version of it. He probably just sent you a raster version of it because it's easier to work with. Because like you can't upload a vector graphic as a YouTube thumbnail or anything.
I have PNGs.
Shit.
Yeah, they're all PNGs, which are not vector.
No.
I'm gonna have to text him.
I mean, it's not the end of the world as long as you have a really high quality JPEG for a shirt. But like
nope.
best
case, I requested vector.
Okay, well, he sent you raster.
And I just I haven't done much with any of this because I've been so busy. Just got the website up and running, and I wanted vector for this reason, for the shirts. So I'll contact him. He's really good. Like I said, he unlike the other guy who just never paid me back when he refused to do any of the logos, this guy's been pretty decent, pretty straightforward. So I don't think it'll be a problem. You freak. Thanks, Dylan.
Was that dab?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I can almost guarantee.
The best shirt I bought was from Mork Borg, or an independent tabletop RPG. Interesting. Yeah, and I've got some. So, what I'm thinking of doing is going like the orange shirt with the tree I've got on it has been done by a local artist, and it's an actual local t-shirt designer. And I might actually go to the t-shirt designer and say, "Could you do this for me? And how much would it be for 10 shirts?" The problem is that orange shirt cost me 50 Canadian dollars. So, but I don't mind supporting local. I hate shopping at like the Walmarts of the world and all that. I have the money to not shop there, so I would rather not support slave labor. Not saying Walmart does, but I do know a lot of companies do have some pretty...
Walmart doesn't, but a lot of the things that a lot of the clothing that Walmart just happens to sell, even though it's not made by them,
Yes.
they support slave labor companies.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that I like. I have no problem with people having to shop at Walmart because it's a necessity. But if you don't have to shop there, I personally don't. And for that reason, Joe Fresh is the other one that I'm just...
Even Amazon at this point. Even Amazon at this point, I'm trying to like get away from. I mean, it's hard because it's so bloody convenient. But
Amazon for anything that's not a major product. So I don't I won't shop for random stuff that comes from China. Like if the shipping is like 3 to 4 weeks, nope, sorry. Oh, I will buy my Rhodes and my my Shure products.
Well, yeah, because most of that money is going. I mean, there's a chunk of it that's going to Amazon, which is a questionable company at best. Yeah. But most of the money is going to the manufacturer, which is a good.
Well, Amazon on the surface, Amazon isn't horrible. Outside of the shop local, it's pretty horrible. But when you start getting into the companies that use Amazon, then you're like, oh.
Well,
okay.
I more talk about like the way they treat their employees.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that.
That's a bit of an issue.
Red Cabin says, "I'll buy one." Cool. That'd be awesome.
You should put up a poll. That's just take a quick pulse and see, just out of curiosity, how many people would. Because it sounds like there's a good.
Let me go on here and create a post. I'm gonna do this on the full channel.
Yeah.
Would you buy a TCS if it was for sale? Now, and that's the other thing. I won't be making money off these. Well, I'd like, if you made $1 off a shirt and I sell 12, yay! But I
12, well, it's not really. Yeah, as long as you can make back the money you spend to make them, that's really the big thing. Because I mean, ultimately, you're getting free advertising.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I don't want to become a merch. Especially right now. If it turns out in I'm closing in on 100,000, and that can become an area that I can make money at. Sure. But I don't want to right now. I'm not no, I'm good. So there, the poll's up. I will put the image. No. Put the image in the. Add a comment. Oh, you can't put a picture in a comment. God damn, stupid.
Yeah, just while you're doing that. Yeah, the Walmart slave labor thing. Prisons, yeah. I mean, house brands, I think all house brands in most cases are pretty sketch. I mean, yeah, Great Value's an easy target because they're Walmart, but, even the no-name, the yellow label crap that the Loblaws companies sell, I mean, I'm sure you could find a lot of similar shit with that as well, because I know Loblaws does have some sketchy business practices, but it's hard, slippery slope, though, because, I mean, inmates have to make license plates. What the hell are we going to do about that?
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, actually, when it comes down to a lot of stuff like clothing lines and stuff like that, having new skills learned from that perspective for inmates is one thing. Using them as slave labor is a completely other.
Yeah.
There's a difference between okay, guys, making license plates is slave labor. However, if they had the option in prisons to be able to turn around and go, okay, what we're going to do is we're starting a clothing line, or this person needs a clothing line. Who wants to learn the processes that goes into this, or whatever? And I do know that there are some countries that do that. And that I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I'd be curious to do a bit of a dive into that and figure out exactly what is the process in the the privatized prison sector in this side of the world. Like, how do they approach a contract like that?
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, how much of it really is forced, so to speak, versus like an alternative to what they already would be doing anyway.
Dan, I would only do it if I broke even. I probably would make sure that there's at least some small profit on it, whether it's $1 or $2, just to cover oopsies.
Yeah, like
That's
a buck
the
or two a
biggest-
shirt. That's fine.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're not just breaking even, because you're never just breaking even. You're losing money. TechMed Rayner, cheers, brother. Thank you for the super chat. It's going well. Red Cabin, I remember when everything in a Walmart was made in the USA. I don't remember that.
I was going to say I was not alive. I can almost guarantee it.
Well, we actually, Walmart in Canada took a while to get here.
Mm-hmm.
I think they started in the 90s.
The Waltons.
Do
Walton
you
family.
remember when you first got a Walmart? Or you're younger than me.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the 90s. Walmart does produce slave labor because a lot of the great value are made in prisons. 13th Amendment does allow voluntary servitude for prisoners. Yeah. That's gross. All right, we're hitting an hour and a half, and my tummy's starting to grumble.
Yeah, same here.
So thanks, everyone, for the input, especially. I will keep you updated. Don't expect a T-shirt to be right around the corner. I really want to make sure, because I'm going to be spending my money first on it. So I'm going to be dropping probably about $200-300 on my own shirts that I will wear on videos. And I want to make sure that the ones I get aren't going to be crap.
Yeah.
So once I have that nailed down, then I'll start to price out maybe how much it would cost to have, I don't know, print and go or whatever the case is with a specific shirt, and I'll get back to you. Other than that, hopefully the music video should be ready for next Monday, next Monday, Monday after next. Oh, the Monday after next. That's what it is. There it is. Got you, Dylan.
Hey.
Walmart used to be all about being made in America. Cool. I didn't know that, actually. They are definitely not all made in America now.
No.
And we'll see you next Friday. Thanks for coming, guys.